And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We are talking George Russell versus Max Verstappen. Yes, that guitar issue is not going away, and it is absolutely exploded. So this time, it's the turn of George Russell releasing a tirade on Max Verstappen. I mean, he's quotes, for example, in relation to what Max originally said. And let's have a quick look there. It's just a clip.
I've never seen someone trying to screw someone over that hard.
So Max Verstappen is basically accused George Russell of screwing him over in the stewards room, over qualifying at the Qatar Grand Prix. He said, "I've lost all respect for him in front of the cameras. He is very neat, but outside of it, he is a different person." And George Russell has come out saying, "I find it all quite ironic, seeing as Saturday night he said he was going to purposely go out of his way to crash into me and put me on my bleep head in the wall." There's more. Yep. I think Max has been enabled because nobody has stood up to him. Lewis stood up to him in 2021 and lost that championship unfairly. There's more. Could you imagine the roles being reversed and Max losing that championship in the manner that Lewis lost that championship? Referring to 2021, Masi would be fearing for his life. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Lewis, to be fair, one good thing about Lewis, he absolutely lost with dignity, didn't he, for there? And he's come out. People have been bullied for Max for years now, and you can't question his driving abilities. But he cannot deal with adversity. Whenever anything has gone against him, Jeddah, Brazil, he lashes out. Budapest this year, the very first race, his car wasn't dominant, crashing into Lewis, slamming his team. As I said, for me, those comments on Saturday and Sunday night were totally disrespectful and unnecessary. And here we go. Here, I mean, this is when he says it.
Need to take it personal. I have no idea why he's done that, and he cannot deal with adversity. Whenever anything is not going his way, he lashes out with unnecessary anger, and borderline violence. You know, we've seen it in Brazil in the past with Ocon. You saw it in 21 with Lewis, and then Mexico with Lando. First race of the year in Budapest when he didn't have the most dominant car, crashes into Lewis, slamming his whole team. That is not a guy who I respect. And
I mean, that's quite interesting. He mentions, obviously, one of the more recent things, Mexico, and as we all know, where he lost his cool against Lando Norris in Mexico and basically completely dive bomb him. Had Lando not got out of the way, there would have been an almighty crash. Absolutely. And for example, at Hungary, yes, he was slamming his team. The most I've ever seen Max Verstappen annoyed. He was really, really cross. He made it very obvious. And then he crashes into Lewis because he just forgot there was a turn there. He completely outbraked himself. He completely lost his head. So he has got a point. Is Max Verstappen a bully? Well, I don't really know off track. I mean, he's a bit rude. But on track, I think Russell's absolutely on point. Max Verstappen, I've always said this, as fast as he is, and as talented as he is, in terms of adversity, probably Russell said it better than me. In terms of adversity, Max can't take it. Max doesn't like to lose, which is good in a way, but there is a line, isn't it? Let's listen to this again.
need to take it personal. I have no idea.
And he did take it personal in the stewards room. One of the things that Russell said, he's come out and said, no, on the racetrack, professional, I guess, in the stewards room, professional, it's not personal, it's kind of racing. But then, and at no point, and this is what I think was interesting, on Saturday, he said himself, he got up Sunday morning, forgot about it and carried on. It wasn't really until Max said those things that it became an issue.
He's done that, and he cannot deal with adversity. Whenever anything is not going his way, he lashes out with unnecessary anger and borderline violence. You know, seen.
And, well, we're getting to the violent bit a bit. Yes, but he does lash out with anger. When you look at, for example, Austria, the way he treated Lando Norris. And when you look, when both their cars was damaged, Lando was slightly less damaged. He was trying to go through. Max veered towards him initially until he didn't. He mentions, obviously, George Russell mentions, for example, Brazil 2021, the Lewis Hamilton trying to push him off the track. If you remember Jeddah with the brake testing, yes, Lewis was a bit silly there, but not only with the brake testing, once again, trying to have Lewis off, trying to force an incident.
In Brazil in the past with Ocon, you saw it in 21.
Obviously, he's mentioned Esteban Ocon where Verstappen assaulted him, pushed him.
With Lewis, and then Mexico with Lando. first race.
I mean, and this is the kicker for me. This is the bit where it does, to be fair, send alarm bells. I'm going to bleep out what's going to happen.
I find his comments pretty ironic when he comes out and says, "I'm going to purposefully crash into you. I'm going to put you on your fucking head in the wall."
Yeah, I'm going to purposely crash into you. I'm going to put your bleeping head in the wall. Now, if that is true, and if that was said in front of the stewards, Russell suggested he was swearing, etc. In another interview. I can't obviously play everything, but something absolutely has to be done. I mean, let's be fair. If you, in public, as a member of public, you go up to somebody and said, "I'm going to put you on your effing head," there you go. I mean, down in the UK, that's probably an offence you could get arrested for. People have said less on Twitter these days and been in massive trouble. I'm not trying to blow it up, but it's just not something you should say.
For me, that is unacceptable. And he's gone beyond the line here, and I'm not going to accept it. So somebody's got to stand up to a guy like this before it gets out of control.
Yeah, I know Russell's not the most popular guy, but yeah, I mean, what he says is, we'll get into this in a bit. What he says is absolutely true. It's just crazy. Here's the article from the race. As we know, the flat out response to criticism from Max put me on my bleeping head in the wall before the Qatar Grand Prix. Verstappen received a one-place grid penalty for impeding Russell in qualifying, as we all know, and obviously Verstappen lost pole. And obviously, as we heard, I find it ironic considering Saturday night he's purposely going out of his way. He said he's going out of his way to crash into me, put me on my bleeping head in the wall. So to question somebody's integrity as a person while saying comments like that the day before, I found ironic. We accused Max of being a hypocrite. I kind of feel justified in that, yes. I enjoy Max. I keep saying, he's one of the most talented drivers in Formula One. He's arguably one of the most talented drivers of his generation, but he does seem to have this flaw. And as Russell said, I'm not going to sit here and accept it. People have been bullied from Max for years now. He can't deal with adversity. Whenever anything has gone against him, he lashes out. But for me, the comments on Saturday night and Sunday were disrespectful, but he's taken it too far now. Verstappen did not immediately want to reply to Russell's comments. Now, when asked if he was planning to speak to Verstappen to clear the air, Russell said, "I've got no interest in talking to him about it because I don't have any interest in making amends because I think it's his problem to deal with, and I'm not going to lose any sleep over it." Russell then questioned why other drivers don't stand up to Verstappen, with the exception of his outgoing Mercedes teammate Lewis Hamilton during the pair's titanic battle. He said, "I just don't know why other drivers, I thought this is quite interesting. I just don't know why other drivers, when they've been in this battle with him, they've made it so easy and just let it be." He said, "Lewis is a world champion who I aspire to be like, and he's the gold standard role model that younger kids should be looking up to. And the way Lewis dealt with the championship fight, he was hard, he was aggressive, he was always respectful, and he never went beyond the line. You can go beyond the line in making a slight misjudgment, but going out of your way to say you'll purposely crash into someone and put them on their head is beyond the line." Now, if we go all the way to Italy, in 2021, when Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen crashed, Max Verstappen said afterwards, that's what happens when you don't leave space, meaning did he purposely then go out to hit Lewis Hamilton? When you read things like this, you do start to wonder. And if that's the case, I mean, if you think Michael Schumacher's dirty, this guy potentially, if this is not addressed, I'm just throwing that out there. And when I say Michael Schumacher, his tactics in 94 and 97, once again, one of the most talented drivers of all time. The Rascas 2006. I do like Michael Schumacher, though, but once again, a flawed champion. Toto Wolff responds, this is what I thought was interesting. Toto Wolff responds to Christian Horner, saying George Russell was quite hysterical last Sunday. Yapping little terrier, always something to say. I mean, what is going on here? It's just, wow. I mean, I think if I've got it here, he does. Afterwards, Verstappen, there's nothing to lie about. Okay, Russell added, Lewis stood, he added. In an unusual step, Mercedes boss Toto Wolff attended Russell's news conference and criticised Red Bull's Christian Horner for calling Verstappen hysterical. Wolff said, "Why does he feel entitled to comment about my driver? If you're thinking about it, yapping a little terrier, there's something to say. His forte is not intellectual psychoanalysis. sis. Oh, God, I can't, dear me. But that's quite a word. How dare you comment on the state of mind of my driver? Verstappen said on Thursday that he had no regrets about his comments in Qatar. Yeah, okay. Guess that's why people like Verstappen. I meant everything I said, he said. And it's still the same. If I had to do it again, maybe I would have said even more, knowing the outcome with the race results. I can't believe that someone can be like this in the stewards room. For me, it's unacceptable. Because, I mean, we're all racing drivers. We have a lot of respect for each other. But then if Verstappen said that to George Russell, no, he doesn't. We even play sports together, you know, travel together. And, of course, you have moments where you get together, you crash, you're not happy. In my whole career, I've never experienced what I've experienced in the stewards room. I pretty much, if that's true, surely George Russell can say the same. And for me, that's really unacceptable. So, I mean, oh my gosh. Yeah, I've lost all respect for him in front of the cameras. He's very neat, but outside of it, he's a different person. I'm sure, I mean, George Russell would differ. I mean, it's just...
Take it personal. I have no idea why he's done that. And he cannot deal with adversity. Whenever anything is not going his way,
I think George's speak does have a point.
Anger and borderline violence. You know, we've seen it in Brazil
now,
in the past.
yes, people, and when he says the violence, I guess he's talking about almost using his car as a weapon. We haven't seen it often, but you just need to go back to Brazil, 2021, go back to Jeddah, 2021, Mexico, when he completely, he was being dangerous. There is a reason why Max is top of the list, I think at 40 points in total, since these penalty points have come in. Surely that means something. Not to discredit Max. Once again, very talented driver. But there is a flaw there. And I think I find myself thinking George Russell does have a point. What do you think? George Russell, yeah, I know. I guess he's a bit like Marmite. Some people aren't, massive fans of him. But if you can see past that and see what he's saying, I do feel, and there has been an issue this year with Max Verstappen. It's not biased British media. What you see on the track happens. It's a fact. The fact that people accuse, other people of doing it, it's just because they don't agree, I guess, with your thinking. The default seems to be at the moment, it's biased British media. Okay, fair enough. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. Are we being biased? Maybe. Is George Russell British? Yes, he is. He's as British as they come. If there was any driver, I can assure you, I'd be saying the same thing with those comments about Max Verstappen. So it's going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen going further into the weekend. Having said that, let's be honest, Max Verstappen does make F1 all the more entertaining, and he has made F1 entertaining this year with his fantastic drives. For example, that mega drive in Brazil, mega drive in Imola. It was a solid drive in Qatar as well, under all that pressure. That's not to take away anything of those races that Verstappen did amazing in. But when you look at your Hungary, you look at your Mexico, you look at the Austria this year, yes, they were massive blips on the Verstappen radar for his 2024 World Championship, which, though, is absolutely fully deserved. But in terms of Russell, I agree, Max cannot. There are times when there's a perfect storm, Max cannot deal with adversity. And it's the way... when under the most extreme pressure, that's when you see the argument. The true character of a person. Everyone swears, etc. But I think Max is potentially something else. Once again, I'm very glad he's in Formula One though. And that's not to take away anything. Obviously for the stunning performances he's had this year. Anyway, if you like what you see, please give us a subscribe. Comment below. Let us know what you think. I'm sure some people are going to have interesting opinions about this. If you made it to the end, you are an F1 World Champion in our eyes. If you made it to the end and gave us a like, you are multiple F1 Champion in our eyes. And we'll speak to you soon. Stay safe. And thank you very much.